Alright, this is volume part 2, so you should have already watched part 1 and done the first 6 questions with me on the diagnostic. I think it's actually 5. Either way, you've already done the first video. I want to remind you of the formula chart you're looking at. Remember, we've crossed off prism and pyramid and rewrote these formulas here. And on this video, we're going to focus a lot on these over here. So just have this handy, ready to go. So for the first question we're going to go over, it's given a cylinder with a volume of 847.8 cubic inches and a height of 30. Find B, the area of the base. So for this one, I don't see anything about a radius. I don't see anything about a diameter, but I do see about an area of the base. So it's a cylinder, so we're going to write this formula down. V equals big B times H. Okay, now we're going to start filling in numbers, okay? This is given a cylinder with a volume of 847.8. That goes over here under V, 847.8. I don't know big B, so I'm going to open parentheses and leave a hole for numbers for us to check, okay? And the height is 30, so times 30. So now what I want you to do is you're going to plug in numbers to see which one works. So starting with 270, plug it in, then 3, then 9, then 28.26. You're checking to see which ones work. So what that looks like is this. I'm going to open parentheses. I'm going to type the first one, 270 times 30. That is not, this 8,100 is not 847.8. So it's not 270. Now, with Desmos, you can just back on up and type a new number. So we're going to try 3. It's also not the correct answer. 270, also not the correct answer. So it's probably the last one, but let's prove it, right? 28.26, 847.8, so this one would be your correct answer. Okay? All right, let's go to the next problem. All right, I want to look at this question. It says, if the base area of a cone is 50 square centimeters and the height is 3, determine the volume of the cone. So base area is the same thing as area of the base. So that means I'm using the cone formula, but I'm going to use this one right here. So V equals 1/3 big B times H. Okay? Now let's start replacing numbers. If the base area of the cone is 50, so that means B is 50, and the height is 3, so times 3. I want to know the volume. So whatever you type is your volume. Now I want you to notice we did not use pi here at all, because 50 is pi r squared. They already did the area for you, so you don't have to type pi. So it's 1/3 times 50 times 3. And you get 50. So the correct answer is 50 cubic centimeters. Remember, you can always pause and watch again or rewind, whatever you need to do to make sure you understand. Okay? All right, the next question I want to go over is this one. It says, if the base area of a cylinder is 153.86 square centimeters and the height is 5, determine the volume of the cylinder. So again, I see those words base area. That means that I'm using one of these formulas over here. Sorry. This was a cylinder, so it's this top one. V equals big B times H. Okay? If the base area is 153.86, so that's big B, and the height is 5, what is the volume? That's it. You just multiply those two numbers. So 153.86 times 5. So 769.3. So there's your answer. All right. Moving on, let's look at this one. It says, given a cylinder with a volume of 863.5 cubic inches and a radius of 5, find the height of the cylinder, okay? So this one gave me a radius. So that means I'm using that pi r squared h question, or formula. But I'm going to add this v in front because it gives us volume, so we need a spot to put that number. So if the volume is 863.5, you're going to write that over here. There's no pi over here, and there's no pi in my answer choices, so I'm going to write 3.14. The radius is 5, so 5 squared. I want to know what height is. So again, we're checking those answers. 275, 172.7, 11, and 55. So I'm going to open Desmos, and I'm going to type 3.14 times 5 squared times, and we're going to start with 275. Okay, that's not the correct answer, so I'm crossing it off. Let's try 172.7. Nope, still not right. It does not equal this 863.5, right? So now let's try 11. There we go. 11's the correct answer. All right, so you're just testing values in this side to see if you get what the volume equals, okay? All right, the next question I want to look at is this one right here. A cone has a volume of 60 pi cubic feet. If the radius is 2, what is the height? So it gave us the volume again, but it also gave us a radius. So we're using 1/3 pi r squared h. I'm also going to add that v equals in front because it gave us the volume. So if the volume is 60 pi, I'm going to write that right here, 60 times pi. I've got 1/3. Now because pi is a symbol over here, I'm going to leave pi as a symbol over here. The radius is 2, so 2 squared. We want to know the height. Now, what's nice about this one is because pi is on both sides, you can eliminate it. You don't have to multiply by it. So really, I want to know 1/3 times 2 squared times what gives me 60. So I'm checking 15, 90, 45, and 10, okay, to see which one will give me 60. So I've got 1/3 times 2 squared times, let's try 15. It's 20, so not 60, okay? So it's not 15. Let's try 90. That's 120, that's not 60. Let's try 45. 60, there we go, there's your answer. The correct answer was 45 feet. Okay? I'm sorry, moved it real quick. All right, I think that was the last one. Making sure real quick. And this will conclude the volume part 2 video. If you feel comfortable with these questions, you can take the test if you just come ask me, okay? All right, let me know if you have any questions.